Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Dream Huge podcast. Man, super excited for this one today. We love to share success stories from huge dreamers, folks in the real estate business, entrepreneurs, movers, shakers, influencers, and more. And hopefully, these stories will help to motivate and inspire you to also dream huge. Today, we have our very special guest, Ali Horriyat. Ali Horriyat, he is with Compassiviste Foundation. You can find them online at compassivistefoundation.org. So, Ali, my man, tell me a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do over there.
Hello, and thank you for having me on the show, Pete. That was a big intro. I feel like coming in all energy.
Yes.
So, what we do, Compassiviste Foundation, is actually part of the Compassiviste Octopus. And the reason we call it an octopus is we have 14 different programs, and the foundation being one of them. And they work as an ecosystem. So, we have a publishing house, we have an art program, we have a film program, we have a podcast, Compassiviste Dialogues, and we have several other programs like kitchen, nutrition, carbon labeling, a TV show, and several others. So the goal is to generate income from all the programs and funnel it through the foundation to make changes in the world, to bring progress to the world. We're not looking for a system of donations. We're not looking for, this foundation doesn't work on that kind of, give me money so I can send it to an impoverished place to feed people. We believe in giving the people the power to start feeding themselves and to start, activating themselves and mobilizing. So that's why we have all these programs interconnected in a way. And when people join and, they become part of the Compassiviste group, they're not essentially here. We're never going to brag about an establishment of, say, 175 years down the line that we've been a foundation, because to me, and I was shocked when I came into this philanthropy work, is it's a failure. I come from a business background. So you always have to have an exit strategy. If you don't have an exit strategy, you don't have a successful product or a successful service. And to me, an exit strategy is, I'm going into this problem. There's poverty here, there's hunger there, there's disease somewhere, whatever it may be, there's inequality, there's discrimination. Funding it continuously and boasting about being 200-year-old foundation that is tackling racism in the Northeast United States, that's not something I want to brag about. I want to be in and out over 5 years and say, I've done it, it's done, it's finished. That's something I want to brag about. And that's the vision that Compassiviste is built on, to get the collective together, go in, stop, move along. And that's how success did happen. If you look back, for example, just taking racism, Martin Luther King is not a 300-year establishment, right? It was a few.
Right.
It was a few years. That's all it was. The entire
Sure.
thing, Jesus, the entire thing was a couple of years. And look at the results. I mean, forget the Catholic Church, but I mean, look at the compassion that came out of that world, right? So even good work has an exit strategy. And that's what Compassiviste is about in a nutshell. Come in, do the compassionate work, go out, end it.
Yeah, I love it, Ali. And you are definitely dreaming huge, because those are some huge worldly problems. And by the sounds of it, you're looking to just tackle those problems and move on
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
next.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
like it.
Same
That's the
strategy
mindset.
as an NFL team. I mean, you're going in, you're tackling. That's the exit strategy. That's when the other team comes in, right? That's when you try to score. Because if you're not tackling the offense, you're never going to be in an offensive position.
Yeah,
That's what we do.
that's a great perspective. It's not about the longevity of the
Mm-mm.
foundation. It's about how many problems did we actually go in and solve.
Right, right. So, I don't want to bring names, but I mean, you can look at some of the foundations that have been around for a century and say, did you solve that primary issue you came into the market for? No, really? Why? How shameful.
Yeah.
How dare you, the audacity to come out and continuously ask for billions of dollars? That's why I'm here.
Yeah. So, what are your primary issues, and where in the world are you focusing on?
So, easier answer is where on the world. We are focusing in the most developed parts of the world, because that is where the essence, the root problems are starting. So, North America, USA, and Canada. At this juncture, we look at Canada as part of the USA, essentially, because the lifestyle and the habits and The formations are the same. There's two different countries. I know, I've lived in both, but Toronto's not that much different than Chicago or to New York City, so it's kind of like the same. Then we're looking at the EU and the UK, because that's the second primary problem zone for us. China, India, some of these places that have the problems within them are reactory markets for us. So, you have child labor in India, but you only have it because American companies go there and want that price point. So you have that, right? It's not because it's inherent in their systems. So it's not inherent to an Indian or somebody from Bangladesh or somebody from China to enslave their own children. But because of capitalism, it's happening because we want our, Apple wants its products cheaper, or some other company wants its products cheaper. Those giants want their products cheaper. So it just becomes that way. That's the target market. We want to influence the consumer to start revolting against these systems through education, through knowledge, through transparency, and through bringing in these programs of expression. That's why we focus on the arts a lot, because the arts brings the expression to the table. And it allows people to understand and see. I mean, how many times were you influenced? The entire diamond industry turned upside down because of Blood Diamonds, the movie, right? I mean, that was really what kicked in all of the issues that came thereafter. Before that, it was known to the diamond dealers. It wasn't really known to anybody else. When are we going to make the lithium battery version of Blood Diamonds? When are we going to tackle the electric car issue with that? When are we going to tackle other social problems? So I think the arts needs to come in first, open people's eyes, then flood people with proper information, and then you'll see the reaction, because people are inherently kind. We are developed in our DNA to be compassionate, which is why we don't eat our children when they're born. That's the easiest meal to have. We don't barbecue them. We nurture them and raise them with a lot of problem. Why? Because of the love. And so that's our target market, the problem zone of overconsumption. When you ask, what are we tackling? Because we came into this, the whole Compassiviste organization came into this with a notion of, how do we make the world better? We couldn't really think about, let's stop the fur trade to save a few animals, because then you have all these other things that are still, ruining the animal's life. I mean, what's the point of saving a wolf from getting skinned when the wolf is going to die in a forest fire? Right? If I'm trying to save the wolf, the exit strategy is save the wolf. I can't save the wolf by just stopping the skin trade, the fur trade. I have to do the other. So it's an overall mission. At the root of this overall mission is dealing with global warming, whether you want to call this in a capacity of climate change and the science behind that, or if you're anti-climate change, doesn't matter to me. The point is, you're seeing the effects. You're seeing the earthquakes, the tsunamis, and whatever else it is. Science aside, you know that we are in a situation where, our resources are getting depleted. So we have to change our systems. How do we change our systems? So it's an overall effect which leads to inequality, discrimination, poverty, crime rates increase. All these marginalizations happen, and then fascism. I mean, we're seeing it today. Whether you go to the United States or you go to Europe, everywhere is hellfire over emotional things. Hate, fascism is growing. I mean, the elections. Everybody's biting their tongues over the elections in the U.S. because it will affect the entire universe. And so these are the things we're tackling. We're tackling the whole thing, because I personally don't believe that I can make progress in the way that I really want to make progress and be happy that I did something good with my life and my presence in this world, when I know that feeding 15 orphans is not going to give those orphans a future that they can live in without wearing a face mask because there's too much pollution. So we're going after everything.
Okay, so from an outsider looking in, I feel like, yes, I want to help and save the world and change things as well, but I am so insignificant. I don't have enough money to even make a difference or make a change at all in the big scheme of things. What do you tell folks that say that?
I tell them two things. One is, you have been told you're insignificant so that you don't rise. That has been imprinted in your mind, because every revolution happened with the insignificance. It didn't happen with the top tier of society. The Rockefellers did not march with Martin Luther King. The Rockefellers did not change any of the rights to allowing women to vote. And if you go back to the American, let's call it it wasn't a civil war, but the war. And when slavery was abolished, just in the US alone, you didn't have the top 1% of that era standing with Lincoln and saying, hey, where do we send our kids to the front line? No, it was the people who you are calling insignificant today. Those are the change makers. So you who think you're insignificant, you are the change maker, because change doesn't happen with money. Change happens with momentum. Money is just a transistor. Momentum comes from the heart. You have to step in. You have to walk. You remember BLM a few years ago?
Yep.
Nothing changed, did it? Was there a law that changed? No, nothing changed. Why? The march happened. The people came out. There was no leadership. The leadership bought a house in Malibu.
Right.
That was the problem. So I don't want people getting disheartened by saying, I came out, I took time off work, I did the walk, nothing happened. I actually got beat up by some racist dude on top of it, or I got run over by a car. No, that's because don't give up on that, because that was poor leadership. We need good leadership. We need people who can lead and guide in this space, and we need people to come together. We don't need money. It's a false understanding. This is a billionaire philanthropy that's put in our minds that we need a Bill Gates to come and save us with a ton of money so that we can go out there and post flyers and do that. No, that's how elections happen. That's Kamala Harris's $300 million that has the whole event that went on last week, for example. That needs money. We don't need that. We just need to come together. We need to bond. That's all we need. If you remember, there was, because I come from the stock world, to trading world, Reddit community came together, and they went against Wall Street on a company, and they were going to win. Wall Street outsmarted them because these poor guys didn't have the right guidance amongst them. So what Wall Street did is like, dude, we're going against a giant. We're going to lose. Let's just circle and go and be with them. And dump it and go back and do over there. And then they dump more money into that strategy, and they doubled up on their money, and they won anyways. It's always because we don't have the leadership. I think when we have the leadership and we stand with the leadership and we build that tribe, it becomes really difficult not to make changes in the world the way we want them to be, because everybody wants to live happier. That is everybody's first condition. They want to live. Our highest value is joy.
Great stuff, man. So yeah, you are not insignificant. To summarize that, you are not in any way insignificant.
No.
And if momentum is put in place with proper leadership in place, then huge things, huge dreams can come true.
And that is the meaning of Compassiviste: compassion and activism. The activism is activating your emotion. So when you activate your compassion, you're fulfilling the change. If me and you walk by a homeless person, we say, oh, I feel so bad. It's freezing cold, it's raining, and poor guy's probably freezing. And we just walk by and we genuinely feel the pain. We're not helping at all. But if we stop and we say, buddy, come with us, let's go put you in somewhere warm, we are acting on that compassion. That is what's lacking today. That connection is lacking. That's where Compassiviste comes in. That's the meaning of Compassiviste. It's the person who acts on compassion. So lead with compassion, act on it.
How does someone get involved?
How do you get involved? So what we've done is we are planning a convention next year. Actually 1 year from now, in September 2025. What we're doing is we're doing the first convention in Vegas, home of conventions. And then we're expanding annually, kind of like the Olympics, to a different city in the world. It could be, again, in the US, it could be in Europe, in our zone. And we're bringing people together. We're not doing the social media stuff, because as much as it brings awareness and it's cool, and you can become an influencer, you're not bringing change. You're bringing some awareness up, but you need that physical connection with people to bring change. So we're doing the convention where we're having our music fest, our film fest, our art fests, and we're having all these sponsors and people come and join in that space to speak, to educate people and tell people this is how you can be a part of what we're doing in your community, right? And so when people come together in that way annually, that is when you will feel as a part of something. And then we have our own app, the ACT app, the Compassiviste ACT app, which basically then connects you into the module. So after you've come and you've been present and you're part of the movement, then you have your own chapter, you have your own, space. And this is how a lot of decentralized systems work, and they work really efficiently. I mean, there's nothing more efficient than the drug trade, which is based on an illegal movement, but it's decentralization of chapters and pockets like motorcycle clubs or other things like that. They function properly. We need to take those educations, even if it comes from the wrong world, and implement them with compassion to make advancements. Why can't we be as successful as billion-dollar generating drug companies when we can do this compassionately for the good causes? They're getting cocaine onto our streets. We're going to get love onto our streets. It's the same thing. Why can't we not be as successful if we use their models? So you join, our website. You look for the events that are happening. You join with our stuff right now. I mean, Compassiviste Publishing, we have an anthology that comes up quarterly, and it's dedicated to a specific cause. All the proceeds go towards the cause itself that we're pushing. We're looking continuously to sign authors that have real stories that we want them to talk about. Same thing in our music program, same thing in our film program, same thing in all the expressive programs, right? And we're looking for people to bring in causes that they really feel strongly about, that they really can push forth, that we can bring the community together to rile and stand behind them. So we're doing a lot once you connect with us. But you won't see us posting a lot. You won't see us chasing followers. You won't see us doing any of that new stuff. You're going to see us doing it the traditional way that has worked to create the social progress and changes that you've seen throughout centuries.
Absolutely love it. Ali Horriyat breaking it down for us today. So, Ali, what did you do before your involvement with the foundation, and how did it lead you to where you are now?
So, funny story. I'm against all of it today, but I used to be one of the most successful traders in Canada. And I used to actually make money looking for problems, because if you know anything about trading, if you're trading on gold, gold doesn't go up and down because the world's beautiful. Gold shoots up because there was an earthquake, there was a massive war, there was an insurgency somewhere. Gold shoots up. So you're sitting there every day buying gold and praying to God that someone gets killed somewhere in the world so you make money. That is what trading is based on. The housing market is the same thing. I mean, you need some kind of craziness in the world for the housing market to just, do that. And so all real estate agents are sitting there thinking, can there be that spike today that, over the next 6 months I can make a killing selling all these homes, or, the prices escalate in that way. So we're all looking for damage to profit from. And so I was in that world. I got sick of it. I had a couple of, cataclysmic situations that I was like, no more, I'm not doing this anymore. I try to walk away from it and do what I'm doing now. But I realized I've been in this game for so long. I mean, I had the second largest private fund in the country. And so I was addicted to money. I didn't know it, but I was addicted to money. And I found it out because I had helped so many of my friends in the business kick habits. So I kind of like learned that I am part of that habit now, but not to any drug or alcohol or anything, but I'm part of it in money. Like I have this addiction to money. So actually let all of that go. I gave away, I was my own a little over $100 million I gave away, and like literally gave it away. Yeah, you can find it online. And then I became homeless. And I went through that stage too, like literally, and worked my way back up and built a community. And we funded our movement and got it off the ground. And here we are, because I believe I had to kick that habit myself. I couldn't be that billionaire philanthropist who says, I know what's right, this is how we're going to do it, put my name on the banner, and have a big inaugural event for me and all those things. I had to lose that ego to be able to do good in the world. And so I went through actually 5 years of that. That was in 2016. It took to 2020 to really get Compassiviste as an idea out there. And then the ideas came, the ego left, and the mind opened up, and I guess the universe spoke to me, if you want to call it that. And here we are. That's the short of it.
Helping others. And we have a saying, it's an old Zig Ziglar saying, stop selling and start helping. So I'm going to wrap this back around into real estate and what we do a little bit. Look, maybe you do profit on, or you can profit on when bad things happen. Yes, but you can also do so. You can also do good by helping others in this business. And Zig Ziglar said it, stop selling and start helping. And once you change your mind and your perspective on that, And it's not always about cashing the check or closing the deal. It's about helping someone improve their way of
Hmm.
life, improve their standard of living. And when you can do that, the more people you can help, the more success you will have. And you guys are helping the entire world, and this is blowing my mind right now. But you're doing huge things here. Where are you guys based out of?
So, based out of London, UK, that's where we're registered, but we have satellite offices in the US and in South America and in Tanzania, in Africa. And we're looking to kind of expand through that. And being that most of what we do are on digital platforms, the essence of the communities are not based on a hierarchical order where we create a space where you come in and we dictate to you. But what we want to do is make Compassiviste kind of by the people, for the people, really a democracy, a true democracy. And the idea of that is, hey, what you just said about real estate, helping others find a better home, right? Helping a family live where they should live. That is the goal of, to me, a real estate broker or an agent, right? It's like understand you and understand your needs and give you your needs in the best capacity that they can. That is a compassivist way of living. You're compassionately acting to help someone. It's not about the money. So you create your own compassivist space, and then you have all these other people join you in that space, and maybe you can start even raising money to help people relocate to places they need to be. Maybe they just don't have that little bit that supports them. Maybe they need financing that they can't get elsewhere. Maybe Compassiviste can build that with, hey, if we have 50 million people, each person giving $10 a month, which isn't much in that scope of the developed world. We're talking about money that doesn't matter where we invest anymore. We could just continuously help. So we're looking to build those communities. So when you speak, we do it this way. I speak to another person who's, say, in car retail, and they say, hey, we're going to help people buy the best car that they should, not just throw them or sell them a car. You talk to a doctor who says, I'm here to really help people, not profit by lying to them and telling them you need this surgery. When you do that, you're just being a compassivist. That's all it is. I didn't create anything. I'm just trying to get people back to that, not to be religious, but back to that Jesus mentality. Love your neighbor, love around your community. You don't need to help people across the world. Love your community. If every person loves their community, we just become better. All at once, all together, we could become better.
Absolutely outstanding message today from Ali Horriyat, CompassivisteFoundation.org. Closing thoughts, sir. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. We have a tagline. It says, love always, always love, which means, when you think of an intention, make sure that love is directing your intention. And always remember to act on that intention that is driven by your love. So always move by compassion. If you see yourself being driven by profit or opportunity or anything else or anything wrong and worse than those things, don't do it. Always say, is this the compassionate act that I'm following? Is this the compassionate intention that I'm following? If it is, continue on that path. You'll never regret it.
Ellie, awesome stuff. Love always and always love. Awesome stuff. Hey, thank you for coming on the Dream Huge podcast. We're going to get this posted. We will tag you. I found you on Instagram. I'm sure you're all over as well on all the other socials.
Mm-hmm.
But again, CompassivisteFoundation.org. And Ali, what's the best way for folks to contact you?
Best way is you can email me, ali@compassiviste.com. You can come on our socials. You can go to the website. We have links to get in touch with us. And, if you have anything to bring to the table, that's what we're here for. We're here to support people in the growth, and we do it with everybody. We don't have restrictions. I mean, you guys are in the real estate game. If you came and said, hey, we have an idea that can nationwide support a change in the real estate game to make it more, helping people as opposed to profiting from. Hey, I love it. Bring it to the table. We'll see what we can do. We'll try to get our community to fund it. We'll try to get this going, and maybe we can make real estate a better exercise for people, as opposed to a worse exercise. So we're open to everything. And like I said, we work from animal rights all the way to environment, all the way to people, all the way to just everything that there is, because you cannot fix the world or make the world better by focusing on a tiny thing. And nobody is small. We are all giants, and we are all the universe. The universe is within each one of us. So believe in yourself, know that you are everything that matters, and everything is within you. Because if you look at your neighbors inside you and your community inside you and everything around you inside you, you never want to hurt yourself, and everything's inside you. So you're always a giant that owns the world.
What a fantastic, motivational, inspiring message today from Ali. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much for sharing your message and your story.
Thank you for
Quote in
having
your
me.
story, at least. Everybody, thank you for watching and listening to the Dream Huge podcast. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. And as always, remember the rules. Work hard, never give up, and dream huge. Let's see the guns, Ali. You got to dream huge.
Huge.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.